Hello everyone and welcome back to Coloring with Haley. It's been a while since I've actually recorded a video like this. Today I am coloring out of Easy Halloween by Jade Summer, and I'm going to be doing a tag video. It's been a while since I've got to do one, but I did have a very busy summer. So I'm going to be doing the fall coloring tag. Kitty's Coloring did this tag, and I'll make sure to link her video down below. And she said that she wasn't going to tag anyone specific, but anyone that watched the video and wanted to do it could do it. And since I love fall, I thought that I would do this tag. And I'll also make sure I leave the questions down below too, so you can see all of those. Question 1 is your favorite fall drink. This is a hard one. I actually don't like pumpkin spice flavored beverages, like pumpkin roll cakes, pumpkin pie, all that's good, tasty, but I don't like a pumpkin spice coffee or tea exactly. None of those, I don't know, they don't taste good to me. There's something about them that's not pumpkin-y enough, I guess. So I guess I would say apple cider. I think that's a fall enough drink, right? I don't normally order apple cider. I'm a green tea, matcha tea type person, but that's not really a fall drink. So I guess I would have to say apple cider. Number 2 is your favorite Halloween movie. This one's pretty easy. I love horror movies. I have seen plenty of them. Halloween is one of the greatest times of year because for the entire month of October, AMC does this month-long horror movie marathon from like 5 a.m. till midnight. And it's great. And I would say that my favorite movie is Trick or Treat. Not the old one. There is an older one that featured a lot of rock stars. I'm talking about the newer Trick or Treat that came out in, I want to say 2009? 2007. Okay, 2007, there we go. It's a horror movie, but at the same time a comedy, and it sort of parodies other horror movies and plays off a lot of really played out and tired tropes in the horror movies. And even sitting beside me is a little doll of Sam, who's kind of the main villain in the movie, but he is just a kid. But it's one of my favorites. I don't even think that it was a popular movie when it came out in theaters. It was one of those movies that kind of like didn't do great at the box office, but at home, you know, it's got like a cult following. Definitely one of my favorites, and they play it every year on the channel AMC for their little marathon. But I like the Halloween movies too, you know, Michael Myers, Freddy, Jason. I like the Silence of the Lambs. I could sit here all day and talk about horror movies. You know, there's not very many that I didn't like. You know, I love Scream. Favorite place to cozy up in the fall time? I would say outside around the fire pit, because we have a big fire pit and we often do little bonfires out there. We, you know, get wood usually from the neighbors. We buy from them. And we set up bonfires all the time. That's how my family's always been ever since I was a kid. And we'll roast hot dogs and marshmallows out there. Because we do live in a rural area, you know, you can see all the stars at night. It's not polluted enough for anything like that, and it's nice, especially when it's just like not too cold, so the fire feels nice. Sometimes, you know, it gets like 10 degrees outside and I'm not sitting out there during that weather, but it is I would say my favorite place to cozy up in the fall. Favorite candy to eat on Halloween? I like a lot of different candies. I'm not a big chocolate person, actually. I think I ate chocolate a lot as a kid, but nowadays I like a Snickers bar and that's about it. I like fruit-flavored candy and I like sour candy. So I would say probably Sour Patch Kids, because those are probably my favorite candy. But on Halloween, I can remember as a kid getting giant ones. Like they were 2 or 3 times the size of a regular Sour Patch Kid, and they'd be individually packaged rather than a package with a bunch of those. And I only ever got them on Halloween as a kid. If I knew where to buy those, I would be all over that. So I would say those giant Sour Patch Kids would be my favorite candy to eat on Halloween, because I've only ever gotten them, like, on Halloween. Candy corn, fantastic or trash? I gotta go with trash on this one. I don't like candy corn. It's too sweet for me. I like Sour Patch Kids. I like fruity candy. Not really a chocolate fan. Not really a fan of, like, vanilla-flavored candies either, anything like that. It's just a little bit too sweet for me. I've never had candy corn in a way that I liked it. And I've never been given it on Halloween either. I think I've bought it to try it, like, on my own. Mostly because everyone said it was gross and I just had to know. But for me, yeah, I would have to pass on the candy corn. I like coloring it, though. I've colored several pictures already this year that have candy corn in it, just not eating it. Haunted house or haunted corn maze. So I am technically not allowed in either of those things. I do have a heart condition, and, they usually have signs out that say if you have a heart condition, you can't legally go through it because it's like a liability and all that super not fun technical stuff. And I've been told not to by doctors. So I've never been in a haunted house at all, ever. But I do think they're fun. I can remember my old high school setting one up in the high school building they were about to demolish, and I think it would have been fun to be one of the people that jumps out and scares everyone else, but then of course I would be afraid someone would accidentally hit me when they're scared, they go, and they turn around and accidentally hit you with their shoe or something like that, because that's just how some people react when they're scared. So I would pick haunted house, but I would want to be the person doing the scaring because I couldn't be the person being scared. I have been in a corn maze, a regular old corn maze in the daytime when I was a kid with my family, and we got lost, and we had to wave to the people. They're in I don't know what you want to call it, a tower, almost like a lifeguard, and you could wave to them, and they would come out there to you and help guide you out of the maze because it was a really big corn maze. So I think that the haunted corn maze, there's a risk of you getting lost in there. What do you do when you're lost and they're trying to jump out and scare you? I think a haunted house, it has more a clear, direct path. So I think the corn maze would be really hard to do. Favorite costume you've ever worn, and bonus points for pictures. I don't have the picture with me, but I do have a picture of it. There is a picture of me as a very, very young child. Since I was born in October, it would have to have been probably my second Halloween. My first one, I would be 20 days old. Not very old. It'd be 29. Yeah, 29 days old. So I don't think my parents would have taken me trick-or-treating. That's too young of a baby to go out for something like that. But I am wearing a little horse costume, a full-body horse costume with a horse head on top of my head. And I would say that's probably my favorite costume. I was a really weird kid. I was very antisocial, and I didn't want to go out trick-or-treating. I think I probably wore the costume to my grandma's house and to see family, but I refused to go out trick-or-treating, even in elementary school. All the elementary school kids would go out trick-or-treating afterwards, and I didn't want to do it. I would absolutely refuse to. I don't know. I was very shy. So I didn't really dress up a lot, and I don't really have too many pictures of me in costumes. So it makes the next question, least favorite costume you've ever worn, a little hard to answer, because when I'm, a very young baby and I don't have a say in it, my parents stressed me up, of course. But as I got older, I would kind of refuse it, and I didn't really want to wear costumes that much. And I haven't seen too many pictures of myself in costumes, and I don't know if I was wearing a costume that day, but I know that I got really sick on Halloween one day at school, and I had to go home. I had, food poisoning or something. So if I was wearing a costume that day, I would say that was probably my least favorite because I got sick that day, and it was just not a fun memory. I liked seeing the other kids in costume at school. There would always be a costume parade, and I liked watching that. I liked watching what the other kids wore, but I didn't really care for it. On me, so if I was wearing a costume that day, it would have to be my least favorite, but again, I don't know, I don't have any pictures. I think one time my neighbors convinced me to go out trick-or-treating with them, but it was because we were sitting in, the bed of the truck, and my older neighbor was there, who was my friend. And they convinced me to go out with them because there were a bunch of them. And so I didn't have to walk up to the door myself and say trick or treat because there were some other kids there that she was friends with. So there were probably 6 or 7 of us. And I could kind of just blend into the background there. And I don't know if I was even wearing a costume for that. I want to say that maybe I wasn't. But I did go once with them and get some candy. And I actually only had a small plastic bucket. So I needed to take a pillow sack or something because they gave us a lot of candy. But that was probably one of the only times I've been trick-or-treating aside from when I was very young and just don't remember it at all. So favorite fall food you like to eat this time of year? Whew, that's a big one. Of course I like Thanksgiving. That's the only time my mom will ever make stuffing, and I love her stuffing. It's so good. We actually have a ham on Thanksgiving rather than a turkey because none of us really like turkey all that much. Stuffing's good. I like butternut squash and pumpkin, like in savory dishes, like butternut squash soup, or there's this Japanese restaurant that I go to that has a pumpkin curry, and it's really good. Picking one food is really, really hard. I'm just going to pick butternut squash because there's a lot of things you can do with it. You can roast it, you can turn it into a soup, and it's kind of a fall vegetable. You don't really see it grown in the summer, and I love it. I could eat it every day. I could eat it with cinnamon on it, or, turn it into a savory dish. Least favorite thing, I missed the question, hang on. Tea, coffee, cider, or hot chocolate? So, when I drink tea and coffee, I don't like them hot. I like them cold. I like iced tea and I like iced coffee. And again, I drink cider occasionally and I want it iced. Here's the one that I know everyone's going to be like, what? I don't like hot chocolate. I never have. I don't know why. I don't like it. I don't like chocolate, I guess, that much to begin with, so it makes sense. But if I had to pick between tea or coffee, I used to be really big into coffee, but now I'm really big into green tea. So I think I would have to pick tea. I think tea would have to win for me on this one. And then we go to the least favorite thing about fall. I don't know if I have a least favorite thing about fall, to be honest. I really like fall. It's my favorite season. I can actually go outside because it's not as hot out as it is in the summertime. It gets too hot for me. I've talked about it before. I just can't be out there. I'll get sick. I have to come in. So I can actually go outside and spend time with my donkeys and the pony, and I can go outside with the dog, and we can go on hikes. It doesn't bother me that it gets dark earlier because I'm definitely one of those night owl people. I thrive in the darkness. It's like the moon is out, and I'm a werewolf, I guess. Like, I'm finally alive. So it doesn't bother me that it gets dark earlier because I've always been more active at nighttime. My brain is kind of reversed, I guess. So that doesn't bother me. I know that's a negative part of fall for some people, but for me, I'm not really bothered by it. I guess more towards December here in Missouri, it starts to get cold enough at night that I get a little achy, but that's more so in the winter than in the fall. It's really hard for me to pick a least favorite thing. I don't know. That's a really good question. Oh, wait. Okay, hang on. Okay, if I had to. You know what goes into hibernation around this time of year? Frogs. And I don't see as many frogs on my porch. Obviously, I see them in the spring and the summer, and not the fall. So I'm going to go with that. That's a really weird choice, I know. But I don't really have a least favorite thing about fall. Favorite fall time activity? I love picking pumpkins. We do go to a local orchard. Would it be a pumpkin orchard or a pumpkin patch? Yeah, I guess a pumpkin patch. It's a big farm. They grow corn and pumpkins and mums and everything else. I love going out there and picking out pumpkins to set up for decoration. Again, I've only been to corn maze once and I got lost, so I'm definitely not going to say corn maze. Yeah, I guess I would say pumpkin picking. I like baking a lot too, though. Is that really a fall activity, though? I don't know. You're inside more, and I feel like you bake more in the fall because, it's not so hot out. So if baking is considered a fall activity, then I'm going to totally pick baking. But I do like picking pumpkins. I can remember there was a giant pumpkin patch, bigger than the one I'm talking about, that every year as a kid, our elementary school would take us out there on a trip in October, and every kid would get to pick out a pumpkin. And they had huge pumpkins, and they had tiny pumpkins. There would always be some kid that tried to pick out, like, the heaviest 20-pound pumpkin they could find. But that was a good memory. I remember going out there a lot and getting pumpkins every year. That was a fun one. And then our last question is your favorite fall coloring book. This is probably going to be a popular answer, but I gotta say it's Camellia Angelkova. And am I pronouncing her name right? Does anyone know if it's Camellia or Camellia? I'm not too certain. I've heard it both ways. It's her 50 fall miniatures. I'm just really in love with her miniatures books right now. I feel like she could put out any kind of miniature book and I would buy it. It could be like 50 miniature fish or whatever. I mean, she's done an ocean one, but I mean just specifically like only fish. I would still buy it. I would have a great time with it. I think she could do anything with her miniature series, and I would like immediately buy it. Definitely that's my choice, and you'll see me coloring a lot in it, hopefully. This fall, I haven't been as busy. So for the tag, I also am not exactly a fan of tagging people because I don't want to bother them. So anyone else who sees this video and wants to do this tag is welcome to. And we have a little bit of time before the video ends, so I can give you a brief rundown on what I've personally been doing, and if you don't want to hear that and you just wanted to hear the tag stuff, that's totally fine. You can click off the video. But I have been busy with college mostly, and this summer just a lot happened, like everything happened all at once. And so it's kind of slowed down. I'm taking microbiology and anatomy and a technical writing class right now, but I've got like 1 week left in the technical writing class, and then it'll switch to like, I think it's like the history of the English language or something is the name of the class. I don't know, it teaches me about where English words came from. And I think that'll be a fun class, but the microbiology one and the anatomy one are my two longer courses for this semester, and then I sign up for classes for spring and October, and hopefully, finally, maybe get to do an in-person class. I think there's only like 1 or 2 I'll have to take in person, the rest are online, but every time I've signed up for in-person classes, you know what has happened and spiked, and they stopped doing them in person, so we'll see if I finally get to do that this year. Hopefully, I'm not sure. I think in the spring, the in-person class for biology majors is genetics, and that would be fun for me. I like genetics. I always have. I always made little Punnett squares in high school and middle school and everything. I think it's fun to do. So that would be a good class to take. Let's see. I'm going to do a video soon before all of the frogs and the reptiles start to hibernate, so I need to do it like soon and upload and update because it's been over a year since I showed everyone all of my critters, and of course it's changed around some. Some of them are now with friends. I have 2 new additions, I think. One of them's technically not mine, it's Doug's. I got him a birthday gift. I traded one animal around, and unfortunately I have had a few animals pass away due to old age, so I'll give you an updated rundown on everyone, and some of them have just been moved into like bigger homes, upgrades. The room looks pretty different from when I first showed everything to you, so that'll be exciting. And if you have any questions you would want me to answer in that video, feel free to leave them below, and I will do my best to answer them. And you might have noticed on the channel that I finally, actually got around to making nice little cards for when I do flip-throughs. And I put a little frog on there. That's my little frog, so it makes it mine, because I kind of have my channel, frog-themed right now. And they're green, so instead of it just being like a screenshot from the video, now it's actually a nice little picture with the cover of the book and everything. I think that just makes them a little bit easier to find, because you can see the cover of the book and see the cover of the book on Amazon and be like, oh yes, that's the same book, because of course there's a lot of books named Country Farm. So it makes it just a little bit easier to determine that you're looking for the right one. And my plans for October are going to be to attempt to color in all of my Halloween books. And that's not just going to be books that say Halloween on the cover, like any books that are monsters or witches or whatever. Anything that I would consider to be Halloween themed, I'm going to try to color a page in each of them. But I actually haven't even cut those out and counted them, so who knows, maybe that's way too many books. But I'm hoping to. I'm hoping in September to finish the World of Mice stained glass book, and that'll be my first book from my 10 books to finish this year that I've actually finished. I have 1 page left as of me recording this, and I think in 4 days in the month, so I think I can get it done. Shouldn't take me that long, and I'll do a completed flip through of that book. And of course, I'm still working on the Chibi Girls book. That should be done in December, and I'm working on the Sci-Fi Babes book. I've kind of dropped the other books. I'm not officially pulling out of it, but it's more 3 books to finish. Oh, and the Hannah Lynn book, but I don't think that was originally one of my books to finish. I think that got announced after I did the tag, the color along for that. But I will be finishing that book like everyone else that joined in the color along this year. We've got just a few pages to go in there. We've got some pages for Halloween, and then I think Thanksgiving, and then Hanukkah and Christmas. So we're everyone that's doing that color along, that we're pretty close to finishing that book. And then I may do a video for my goals for the next year. Definitely not going to redo the 10 books to finish. Somewhere halfway through the year, I realized, man, 10 books is a lot. I could do 2 or 3 for sure, but 10 books was way more than I thought it was going to be. I would like to set up some goals for the year though and see if we can achieve those. That would be fun. And I don't know, maybe host a few color alongs. I have some ideas in my head for color alongs, so that would, I think that would be fun to do. I've never set up any before, but I would announce them on Instagram, which is also linked below, and we could do color alongs. Like, I don't know, I think Froggy February would be really fun to do. We just color as many frog pictures as we can in February. And I actually have a lot of books with pictures of frogs in them. Even this Easy Halloween book has a frog picture in it, so I think it would be pretty easy to find enough frog pictures, you know, for everyone to join in and color a frog picture if they wanted to. And of course, in October, if you want to color in any of my Halloween books with me, we can do a buddy color. Just ask me on Instagram. I've never turned anyone down before. Sometimes it may take us like 4 or 5 tries to find a page that we both haven't colored and want to color for the buddy color, but that's okay. I will do it with anyone, even if you are not a YouTuber and you're just on Instagram and you've come over to watch the video. I'll still do it. I don't care. Makes no difference to me. So those are kind of my plans and what's been going on with me. I will hopefully have a video out in October for my birthday that's not a speed color. I have changed my coloring setup a little bit. So high film is different. This is the last video filmed the old way, and that helps a little bit. And we'll see if the internet will let me upload like a regular full-length hour-long color along where I sit and I talk about everything. We'll see if the internet can handle it. That's kind of the main reason I slowed down. And then we changed internet providers, and when I set a video that's an hour long to upload, it takes about 3 hours, and I can't really do anything else on the internet. Like, I couldn't do my college homework, or I couldn't sit around and watch other YouTube videos because it slows it down so much. So that was kind of one of the factors in me not uploading longer videos. But we are almost to the end of this video, and this was a fun page to color. I really like the light grayscale that they did for this book. I think the Cute and Spooky one has it too, so I may have to pick that up. My orange marker did unfortunately really start to run out on this page. It seems like orange is a color that you use a lot, but they only give you like 1 or 2 orange markers, even a set of 200 markers. So I could really use more orange markers. Amazon people that are watching this and make markers, give us more orange markers, man. We kind of need those. And I'm using the cheaper gel pens to do the glitter on the pumpkin's face because I've got to be honest, I'm almost out of my orange ones in my more expensive ones. So I didn't think I had enough to actually cover the face. But I did want to use the gel pen for the face because when I hold it up, it almost makes it look like, you know, you have a candle in the jack-o'-lantern and the eyes and the face are actually glowing. I am happy with how this picture turned out. Like I said, I like how my mums turned out, especially. We always grow a lot of mums around here in the fall. So I was like immediately attracted to this page, and I'm very happy with how the glitter turned out. I kind of struggle with these cheaper gel pens. I did do a review on them. It can be a little hard to make them look nice and smooth. But I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for watching and kind of listen to me blabber on. I kind of got a little off track there after the whole tag thing and just blabbered on for a while. But thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you enjoy what I've got coming up for the channel. Hopefully I'll be able to upload a little more. It's kind of crazy now that I'm in college. I'm less busy. A little backwards, but, you know, whatever works. And again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video.